What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool video where we will preview the big Merseyside derby, the last derby at Goodison Park before Everton moved stadiums. So what is your score prediction? Let me know in the comments below, and we will also talk about Liverpool wanting to sign a new centre-back, potentially the next Virgil van Dijk, the heir to Van Dijk's throne, and that is Dean Huijsen, who has a release clause of just £55 million at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth has been absolutely sensational. They are in 7th place in the Premier League, but the results against the big teams have really caught my eye, and Bournemouth only conceded 28 goals in 24 games, so they have a pretty solid defense. And Dean Huijsen, what a pickup it has been from Juventus. So Liverpool are very interested in signing him after it was revealed that he has a release clause of just £55 million. He already scored 2 goals in 18 games for Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are having their best season probably in their history, and they paid just £12.5 million. And remember, Liverpool were interested in Huijsen back in the summer, but he wanted regular playing time. He didn't want to go to a big club too soon, like he went to Juventus, because he hardly ever played. So he wanted to go to a club where he can get regular minutes and then he can jump to a big club when he's ready. And Juventus needed to sell him because of financial reasons, and their loss was Bournemouth's gain because they could flip him for a £40 million profit just 1 year later. And this news outlet have learned that Huijsen has a release clause in his 6-year contract that he signed in July worth £55 million, which I think is a decent price for a centre-back as talented as he is. And Liverpool and other Premier League clubs like Arsenal and Chelsea are monitoring this situation. So what do you think? Do you think Liverpool need to sign a centre-back? I think they do, because Joe Gomez is injury prone, Kwanzaa has not quite kicked on from last season, and Arne Slot doesn't seem to trust him, which leaves that Van Dijk and Konate as our 2 main centre-backs, and we need another option, because maybe Kwanzaa can be sent out on loan and Huijsen could become a 3rd choice centre-back, and maybe hopefully when Van Dijk signs a new contract in 1 or 2 years he could be the successor of Van Dijk. Graham Bailey, who is a chief correspondent at TBR Football and he's a very reliable journalist, has now been informed that Huijsen has a release clause worth around £55 million. Bournemouth have been reluctant to confirm whether Huijsen has a release clause for obvious reasons, because they don't want big clubs sniffing around, but sources have now revealed there is one which becomes active this summer. Bournemouth of course are confident that Huijsen, who was born in Amsterdam, will stay, but of course that hasn't stopped several Premier League sides to take notice of this release clause. Atletico, Inter and Bayern Munich are also keeping tabs on the situation. Juventus negotiated a 10% sell-on clause when they sold the central defender to Bournemouth. So Juventus could land another 5.5 million on this transfer if that release clause is triggered. And Liverpool have previously made contact with Huijsen's representatives to sign him, but as I said, he wasn't interested in going to a really big club where he was 3rd or 4th choice. He wanted to be regular starting centre-back in a major league like the Premier League. Liverpool also got into contact with Milos Kerkez's agents in January as well, and Liverpool have an interest in Semenyo, who has already scored 9 goals for Bournemouth. So this Bournemouth side will probably be picked apart by the big clubs, which means that 3 or 4 of their starting players could leave at the end of the season. And according to Graham Bailey, Liverpool are monitoring Huijsen and Liverpool want to sign him. And that 55 million release clause is pretty high, but a player who is that talented, and he's just 19 years old, he could be definitely the future of Liverpool's defense. Alongside Konate, they could play together for the next 7 or 8 years without a problem. And Elias Burke, a football expert at The Athletic, described Huijsen's signing at Bournemouth as transformative. And how right was he? Because Bournemouth has been absolutely sensational this season, and Huijsen has lived up to such a lofty billing during his first few months in England. We will see his scout report in a second. In this video I will show you the detailed scout report. But he is comfortable playing with the ball with both feet, and that would be fantastic because all of Liverpool's centre-backs are predominantly right-footed. Van Dijk is playing on the left centre-back side, on the left side, but we don't really have a direct replacement for him. And Arne Slot, of course, has quite a lot of quality at centre-back, but as I said, Gomez is injury-prone. Kwanzaa, maybe Arne Slot wants him to go out on loan for a season, so I can understand why Liverpool are looking at centre-backs in the summer transfer window. And this is significant. Liverpool already made an approach for Huijsen last summer. We wanted to sign him, but ultimately he ended up at Bournemouth because of regular playing time, and also because Thiago Pinto, who is the director of football at Bournemouth, he proved to be the most persuasive, and he was the guy who signed Huijsen on loan for Roma in January 2024. So he had a short loan spell at Roma where they struck a connection, and that's how he ended up at Bournemouth. But I think it would be a fantastic signing. As I said, because he's just 19 years old, he would be a long-term solution to Liverpool's centre-back position. And he has a composure on the ball that is very mature, beyond his years, and he has aerial prowess that could bolster Liverpool's backline. And the fact that Liverpool were already interested before he even went to Bournemouth speaks volumes about how highly Liverpool rate him. We didn't have a real chance of signing him, as I said, because he wanted regular playing time. But now, with Liverpool having seen Huijsen, how well he adapted to the Premier League, that £55 million release clause doesn't feel a bridge too far. It doesn't feel too high for a player as talented as Huijsen. So it's definitely worth a risk, and missing out on him was disappointing, but missing out on him twice would be absolutely disastrous, and he's just too good of a player to pass up. He is now a Spanish under-21 international, but he played for the Netherlands at under 19, 18, 17 and under 16 level. He also speaks Dutch, and his father played for the Ajax youth team. So he has a Dutch connection, just like our manager and three of our players, Gakpo, Van Dijk and Ryan Gravenberch. So I don't think Huijsen would have any problem settling in at Liverpool. And his scouting report compared to other centre-backs in the top 5 leagues is absolutely insane. Look at his defensive metrics. 1.9 interceptions, 1.9 tackles, 1.77 blocks, 5.6 clearances per 90 minutes. He already ranks in the top 22% in every of these defensive metrics. Aerial duels won only the top 40% with 2.2. But progressive passes, he's in the top 8% of that, with one progressive pass made on average per 90 minutes. And also in terms of progressive carries, progressive passes recorded, progressive passes, he all ranks in very, very highly. And also, he has 0.18 non-penalty goals, which is in the top 1% when it comes to centre-backs. So he's a real threat from free kicks and corners. And he has a lot of shots per 90 minutes, 0.7. For a centre-back, that's outrageous. And he also has 1.7 shot creating actions. He's in the top 4% when it comes to centre-back. So you can see how brilliant he is as a player, and that's why Liverpool want him. So I think he would be a long-term solution, and hopefully Van Dijk will stay. I would loan out Kwanzaa to a mid-table Premier League club. I mean, you could even offer Bournemouth Kwanzaa on loan, where he could play regularly to sweeten this deal, and then we would have Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk and Huijsen as our 4 centre-backs options next season, because Van Dijk needs to stay as well. That would be a fantastic defense for next season, in my opinion. Jamie Carragher also said that the FA Cup exit against Plymouth could actually benefit Liverpool in the title race. I looked at when Arsenal went out to Man United in the FA Cup, and I was thinking that could be a problem for Liverpool, because I thought Liverpool would go far in the FA Cup. I actually think it was a great day all round. Great day for the FA Cup, giant killing, great for Plymouth, and it's a really good, decent for Liverpool. In a way, I kind of agree. I'm not saying it was really good that Liverpool went out, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. The way I looked at it, Jamie Carragher said, does that give Liverpool more chance of winning the Premier League? And I think in terms of percentages, it probably does. Paul Scholes also said, I agree with what you say, Jamie, about how probably it is a good thing, but then you have to think about momentum. You lose and all of a sudden there is a little bit more pressure on you on Wednesday against Everton, and if you drop points on Wednesday, that makes you think, oh crap, it does put a little bit of pressure, but like I say, I think you are probably better out of it. I think it was undoubtedly hugely disappointing, but Liverpool couldn't risk any of their first team starting 11 players getting injured, because imagine if Van Dijk, McAllister, Salah, Gravenberch plays against Plymouth and gets injured. Arne Slot would be absolutely vilified. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think this was the right decision, especially because Liverpool have 5 Premier League games in just 15 days. That's absolutely crazy. We are playing every 3 days for the next 5 game weeks, and you cannot rule Arsenal out, even though their own fans recently have said that Arsenal have no chance in the title race. There is still a long way to go. Arne Slot said, for me it is not about psychology. For me it is about having 9 points or 6 points ahead of Arsenal against teams like Arsenal who are able to win so many games in a row. So leave out psychology. It is just going to be crucial to have as many points as possible, because the teams we face are able to win every single game in the Premier League. In the first half of the season, I said many times, judge the league table after 19 games. But the thing is, Arsenal now played one more game, and if you look at the games they played already, they played Man City twice, Aston Villa twice, Tottenham twice, Brighton twice. So they have had quite a lot of really good teams that they don't have to play anymore. So that is why it's important to try to extend the lead against Everton, and that is not going to be easy, obviously. And Curtis Jones, it looks like, could be ready for the Merseyside derby. It was a precaution to leave him out, he was on the bench against Plymouth, but he felt discomfort on the morning of the game, so he couldn't play. And Arne Slot also made a change, allowing players to stay in their homes the night before a home match instead of staying at a hotel. And Arne Slot recently revealed, people that have more knowledge about this tell me that you always sleep better in your own bed than a hotel bed, and sleep is a very important part of recovery and getting the best possible performance. So I think that is really, really good that Arne Slot and his team has so much attention to detail, and it clearly is translating into results on the pitch. Also, massive news breaking in the last hour. As I was preparing this video, David Ornstein broke the news that Kai Havertz is out for the season. He tore his hamstring in the Dubai training camp that Arsenal went to during training, which is desperate bad luck for Arsenal, because they already have Gabriel Jesus out for the season, they have Bukayo Saka out until April, and they have recently got Martinelli injured with a hamstring injury. So now to get Kai Havertz injured, by the way, I wish speedy recovery to all of these players, but this makes Liverpool even more bigger favorites, even more likely to win the title. But I'm still not saying Liverpool will win the Premier League title. I still think that things can go wrong at any time. There is so many games to play, like 40%, 45% of the season is still left to play. So let's just take each game as it comes. Liverpool's next run of 5 games is absolutely brutal. Away games, especially against Everton, Aston Villa and Man City. If we get 6 points from those 3 games, or 7 points, I will be happy. The fact that Arsenal failed to sign an attacker, a striker in the January transfer window, feels like a massive mistake and a massive missed opportunity now. And because they already had Martinelli out, Gabriel Jesus out, and Bukayo Saka out during the January transfer window, so I didn't understand why they didn't sign an attacker. But now they have Kai Havertz out. Maybe Martinelli wasn't injured during the January transfer window, but straight after. Arsenal are probably paying the price of Arteta very rarely rotating his attack. Bukayo Saka played almost every game for the last 3 years. That's just one example. And sooner or later, it was bound to happen that these players, even though most of them are very young, they will break down eventually. And not everyone is like Declan Rice with a body that never breaks down. and never gets injured. And now I have to be very thankful for Ruben Peters, for Liverpool's mostly fit and healthy squad this season. And it's not just luck, it's methodical. It's about managing the players' load in training and in games. And Feyenoord only had 14.5% of matches missed due to player injury last season. This season it's almost doubled. It's up to 27.8%, and Feyenoord just sacked their coach today due to poor results. And injuries was also a reason for poor results. So the new Feyenoord coach lasted only 7 months after Arne Slot. And now let's preview the Everton-Liverpool game. Everton have a 60% chance of winning it, but the last 10 games at Goodison Park, 7 of them ended in draws. So the most likely result is actually a draw. And this fixture has seen the most red cards in Premier League history, 23, and the most nil-nil draws, 12 nil-nil draws in Premier League history. Absolutely crazy. Mo Salah also has been involved in 21 Premier League away goals this season, and he needs just one more away goal to break the Premier League record for the most in a single campaign. So if he scores or assists one more goal away from home, he breaks a Premier League record. Absolutely crazy. And Salah is having a Ballon d'Or season, generational season, and I hope it continues. And Liverpool have to take advantage of Arsenal's massive injury crisis, and we have to win this Premier League title from such a great position. But Everton will make it very difficult, and I think even a draw wouldn't be the worst result, but a victory would be absolutely massive for the hopes of Liverpool's title hopes, and also crushing Arsenal's hopes of getting back in the title race. Because imagine on the same day when they get the injury news of Kai Havertz being out for the season, Liverpool go to Goodison Park and win against Everton. That would be massive for the title race, and Liverpool also have to hope that Everton will not kick lumps out of our players. I'm hoping and praying for a victory and none of our key players getting injured, because that is also a big fear of mine before the game. Let me know how do you see the game unfolding and going in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.